Hey everyone, thanks so much for turning up to my stream yesterday. It was my first stream back on YouTube since I've been away. It was a blast, we had a great time, and it was my first multi-stream to X as well. So if you're here from X, thank you so much. We had a great turnout there as well, and we'll be streaming to other platforms soon. So before I actually get into the actual video, PlayStation showcases today. Now normally I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays, however now that I've got my better internet I can actually multi-stream, so we should be streaming over to Twitch and YouTube for the actual PlayStation showcase, where the PlayStation should last around 40 minutes and we'll end the stream there. So if you are interested in turning up for that, I'll be streaming that both on Twitch and over at YouTube. Alright, now on with the actual video, and what you're seeing here is a work in progress for Forgotten Frontiers 2. Now this is a kind of homemade expansion of sorts that a modder is basically making. It looks phenomenal in terms of the amount of effort that's actually gone into this. It's great, and this is the type of thing that we were expecting to see pretty early on, but it's good to see that people are actually building these kind of big story driven expansions, and hopefully it will be really good. You know, this is most likely going to be a paid creation, but at this point the amount of effort that's gone into this, it's gonna be worth it. So, you know, if you are playing Starfield like I am, this is definitely something that you want to check out. But yeah, this looks phenomenally good. Like, everything looks so detailed and everything looks so well placed, well designed. The amount of effort that's gone into this is truly astonishing. So Mad Monkey 119, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you, because this really is a lot of effort gone in. Okay, so this one is actually quite interesting. Now, I had heard the murmurings, and we did hear someone say it in my stream yesterday as well, but apparently Final Fantasy Tactics has a really big chance of being announced at the PlayStation Showcase. Now, this would actually be really good because it's actually a phenomenal game. Now, whether they're just going to re-release it as a remastered or actually totally remake it is another story. I hope it's a full-on remake, but this is actually one that's really good, and I'd definitely be interested in this, and will definitely return to Evil East to see what Ramza and co look like in their new upgraded form. The Final Fantasy Tactics director Yasumi Matsuno briefly retweeted the state of play announcement, that this is where this is kind of stemming from. You've also got Jason Schreier adding in a little bit of flame, you know, flame to the fire as well, to kind of indicate that this is possibly going to happen. Now, like I said, I have heard murmurings, but I've not heard anything officially consistent that says this is going to happen. But I, for one, would absolutely love for this to happen. That leads me on to PlayStation State of Play. Now, you've heard me at the start of the video saying that I'm going to be streaming this over at Twitch. This starts at 10 PM, so we'll probably be live at around 9:45. My guess is that NAC is going to be there in some form, maybe a NAC remastered, a NAC 2 remastered, a NAC remastered collection. I mean, it's been a while since we've had NAC on PlayStation, so this is definitely a time where Sony's State of Play can truly shine and bring NAC to the forefront of gaming. This is what they need. I mean, even Jay Barry here is clearly upset that, you know, NAC hasn't had his moment to shine, so this is really it. Zenless Zone Zero is getting its pre-download. Apparently it's available right now. It's about 60 gigabytes or just shy from it. So if you're interested in this gacha game, and it is a good gacha game, definitely check it out. It is now available to pre-download on Xbox. It is 60 gigabytes. Get to it. For you collectors out there, especially the physical collectors, this is a bullet hell game, kind of thing. Scarlet Salvation will launch physically and digitally on Xbox Series X and S on September 2nd, 2025. I'll have a link to this in the description below, so if you're interested in this, you can pick it up. But, you know, it's nice to see that the physicals for Xbox are still happening. So if you want this, I'll have a link in the description below so you can check it out and see what the game is, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But I know a lot of you are like physical collectors, so this is definitely one for you. James Bond 007 First Light game reveal is probably going to be at the Summer Games Fest. We have this image. Apparently it's going to be a kind of reimagining or a retelling of GoldenEye from the N64. We don't really have much information about this, but if it is even the slightest bit like GoldenEye, or if it is just a reimagining of GoldenEye, I'm all for it. The game was phenomenal. Even in this day and age, I sat down and replayed GoldenEye and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, you know, if they reimagine it with the latest tech and graphics, this can only be a good thing as long as they capture their Bond essence. They need to capture the N64 kind of feel, you know, even if it isn't the feel, just the vibe, because that's what made it special. 007 with GoldenEye was just, you know, it was a class act in its own, and it set a standard, a milestone for FPS games, and so it should be handled with pure respect. So according to a Spanish leaker, there is a strong partnership between Ubisoft and Xbox. Now, a partnership between Xbox and Ubisoft has been going on for some time, but apparently you can expect more games from the company to this. You can expect more games from the company to the Game Pass service. Now, whether this means games on the Ubisoft service are going to go to Xbox's Game Pass within a shorter duration, or whether that means that the Ubisoft Plus is going to be fully integrated into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, is currently unknown. But if it is either of them, it's only going to make Game Pass service even more valuable. So, as far as I'm seeing it, I'm all for it. So apparently, according to John at the bottom, you can see that the Sony deal has run out. I don't know if there was a Sony deal, and if there was, that was preventing anything like this. Well, it looks like Microsoft leapt at the opportunity to make Game Pass an even better deal. Now, this is where things get a little bit more ugly, and unfortunately, it's going the opposite way. Microsoft clearly, I don't know whether they actually want to sell hardware anymore, or are just making it really difficult to not sell hardware, or are just trying to sell things at a cost at this point and then make profit on top of it without actually subsidizing anything. But $500 for a 4TB Seagate Microsoft memory card is atrocious. It's sickening, it's disgusting, and there's no way on any planet that I think anyone should justify this. When you can get NVMe drives for $200 for 4TB, and then you look at this and paying $300 more because it's proprietary shelling, you know, shell casing and stuff like that, I think it's bad. It looks like, you know, Microsoft didn't learn anything in the past, and they decided to go down a route which, you know, was not a bad idea. I actually like the idea of memory cards, but not at, you know, not at $500. Right, $500 makes me not like it. And even them, the UK has never seen a discount for these. Even the 1TB ones, I think it's like a, what, 5%? That's not even worth even talking about. So they've just never been approachable, never been justifiable. And at this point, I think it's a massive just bummer for Microsoft, because they invented the technology and then basically turned around and told people, hey, we just don't want you to buy it. That's why we're pricing it way above the rate it should be. Finally, we come to ShiiftUp. They had a project called Project Witches. Now, obviously, ShiiftUp is the company behind Nikke and the very popular Stellar Blade, and they had a game that they were working on that was an incubation that's going to be on all platforms, including Xbox, called Project Witches. Well, now that Project Witches has been changed to Project Spirits, and here is a first look at the game. Now, this is pretty much Tim Hagen's, I believe that's his name, art style. This is pretty much on par with what he actually draws, and in my opinion, it's right up their alley. So, you know, it's the new flagship cross-platform title with an Eastern fantasy theme, top quality new IP after Stellar Blade and Nikke. So hopefully this will be as good as Stellar Blade, or maybe even better, who knows. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, because I liked Stellar Blade, I enjoyed the Nikke gacha game, so hopefully this will be up with it. But time will tell what this game actually is, because right now we really don't know anything. And well, folks, that's the video. I'm going to end with this picture here with Starfield, because Starfield is going to get more and more of these amazing creations and amazing works of art, just enormous amounts of gameplay. This truly is the forever game, in my opinion, because it's just a game that keeps on giving and the community will keep on providing. But folks, that is the video. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, either at my Twitch stream playing Wuthering Waves, or I'll see you later on in the evening, either at Twitch or at YouTube, or maybe even Kick if I can get that set up as well, to actually stream the showcase for State of Play. I'm expecting Knack to be there. We all know Knack is going to be there. It's his time to shine after Astrobot. But let's be real, I think there's going to be a lot of PC games there as well. So hopefully we'll get to see some really cool stuff. But anyway, folks, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.